So let's see. So what did we cover yesterday was basically what NP completeness means. Okay, what approximation algorithms means, and then we saw factor 2 approximation for maximum matching, and we saw a factor 2 approximation for vertex cover. Okay, so what we would like to do today is to let's see how to maintain these approximations in a small space. Okay. So definitely, what approximation did we see for vertex cover? So we saw the following approximation for vertex cover, right? And the approximation for vertex cover was very simple, and that was that find a maximal matching take both endpoints of these maximal matching as vertex cover. And what did we argue? We argued that this is a factor 2 approximation. And can you tell me how much auxiliary space it will take? Anybody? What's the space complexity of this algorithm?
We are storing vertices, and then for each vertex, we have to remember what vertex it was, so something like n log n.
What are we storing? All we are storing is that a maximal matching, right? So how many vertices how many edges will be stored?
Twice the size of the maximum matching.
Right. So you are right. We will be storing roughly order n vertices, and so like order n log n bits. Am I right? All good? Okay. So yesterday Venkatesh taught us the RAM model. Okay. So what was the RAM model? So in the RAM model, so suppose here is a graph given to us. Okay. Say adjacency list. Okay. And you can read this input as much as you want. Read as much as you want. Okay, read as much as you want, and then, but you can't change it. Okay, and then we have this extra space, right? Where this is expensive. Okay, I will charge you for this. Okay, and you can write this is write only tape where we could output our solution. Okay, but you can output the solution, but you can't read it. Encrypted, can't read it. I mean, I am writing it. This is like just a model. Can't read. Okay, and our goal is to use as small space as possible. Now, what is the difference between this and a streaming algorithm? So you can think of this streaming algorithm that this graph is given to you one by one, right? And now, so in streaming algorithm, you can only read, you are getting this input one by one, and if you want to store some information, you can store. But once it is gone, it is gone. But now it is slightly different. I give you more power. I say, look, perfectly fine. You can read as much as you wish. Admin, but you can't make any changes to my input. Yes, here's your extra space where I would like you to use as small a space as possible, and then do something. Okay? Okay. Now, can you tell me an algorithm for vertex covered, for example? Okay. So our objective will be, say, for now, let's say some non-trivial approximation algorithm. Hi Poonam, can you thank you. Say some non-trivial approximation for this problem in, say, order n to the power, say, 1 minus epsilon space. Okay, so I want you to take some non-trivial space and give me this algorithm. Okay, so can we implement this? Do you understand the question? Can we try to implement this algorithm in, say, space, which is like, say, n to the power 1 minus epsilon words, for examples? Okay, or say, yeah. Do you understand the difficulty in this question? Please let me know. Or for that matter, let's say if you understand the question. Okay, if you understand the question, put +1. If you don't, put -1. Okay, very nice. Okay, very few people have put plus. And those who do not understand the question, can you put -1? Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't wait for me to put minus, to ask question, okay? Okay, so look, what I want. So when I did this algorithm, look, I could have a data structure which stores this matching, but the extra space I'm taking is like order n log n bits. Now, I still want to get an approximation algorithm for vertex cover, but I tied your hands and amount of space you're allowed to use. Say, for example, let's say, just for fun's sake, let's say amount of space you're allowed to use is n to the power 3/4 log big O of 1 n bits. So I'm going to use a notation from now onwards. I'm going to use O tilde and n to the power 3/4, which will mean that we are hiding polylog n factor. Okay? So whenever I put O tilde, you're allowed to use. So suppose that amount of extra space you're allowed to use is O tilde n to the power 3/4. And now my question is, can we come up with some non-trivial approximation algorithm for this? And what I mean by non-trivial, can we come up with an approximation algorithm that is provably better than trivial. So what will be trivial solution without using any space? Can you give me a vertex cover? Say,
Pick all vertices.
yeah, excellent. Okay, so here's an interesting algorithm, which I call brute force. Okay, and what is the feature of this brute force algorithm? Well, it takes order 1 space. Okay, so let's write down here a space, okay, and approximation guarantee. Right? So, but can we guarantee anything for brute force? Can you say anything? Brute force, is there any approximation guarantee?
It is ON competitive. Like if there is at least one edge, then even the optimal will need at least one vertex.
And you have
we'll
taken
take
everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, but this is like, okay. So what he means to say that, look at, for example, families of stars. Okay. I know that it has a vertex cover of size 1, but this algorithm is going to take everything, right? So it is like ratio is like say n. Okay. Okay. So this is what I call brute force. Anything more non-trivial? And space is like not n log n bits, because, and then we have here another extreme that if we allow n log n bits, then what we can achieve? Factor 2, right? Just take the maximal matching and output the both endpoints, and that we know is a factor 2 approximation. So now we have to somehow interpolate between these two spaces and come up with something interesting and non-trivial. Anybody? Okay, let's see. So suppose if I ask you to give me, let's say, square root n approximation. So for a square root n approximation, what can you say? Right? So suppose somehow we are able to say that, hey, I know for this graph that minimum vertex cover is at least root n. Can you say, can you do something then? Suppose I came and told you that it has a minimum vertex cover of size.
I
at
had
least-
one idea. I'm not sure whether it is correct.
Okay, great.
But let's say that we group the vertices in root n buckets, and then I start trying to create, like, whenever I get an edge, what I do is that if there is even a single vertex that I would want to include, that is in a particular bucket, then I include all the vertices in that bucket. So I'll only use one marker bit for the entire bucket.
Okay. Not sure that I understand, but okay, I'll get back to that. Okay, but let me come back to this, and let me ask you the following.
Yeah, if the minimum vertex cover is at least root n, then the trivial approximation would be also a root n approximation, right?
Great. So this is great for us, no? Then if I can guarantee that the minimum vertex cover is at least root n, okay, space, we'll worry about this later. Okay, then are we guaranteed that the trivial approximation is the square root n approximation? What is an approximation factor? Approximation factor is alg by opt. Alg is giving me n and opt is at least root n. So this is order root n factor approximation. Excellent. Can we somehow quickly know this? Let's ask. Okay, so this is a good point, right? If the minimum vertex cover is at least root n, then a trivial approximation algorithm is a factor n approximation algorithm. Sorry, is a trivial approximation algorithm which returns all the vertices is a factor n approximation. Okay. Now my question to you is, great. Then if this is so as a strategy, this is a very good strategy, right? Now, how can we implement this strategy? Okay. Now my question is, can we look at this algorithm and implement this strategy? Nobody? Okay, so let's try. Okay. Okay. So what I do, I start to find a maximal matching. Okay. Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to find a maximal matching of a graph. Okay. So this is easy, right? Okay. I find an edge and put it in my extra space. This is my extra space. I find another maximal matching, okay, like another edge which is not an endpoint of this. I can find it, right, because I have stored it, okay, and so on and so forth. I keep doing it. At some point, I would like, at some point of time, suppose this is L, right, and I also have a size variable. Suppose at some point of time it becomes L. What can I say if L becomes root n? Can I say something? So I'm trying to find a maximal matching, and at some point of time L becomes root n. Can I say something about vertex cover then?
Its size of vertex cover is at least root n.
Great. So then I can conclude that the vertex cover of G has size at least root n. How much space did we took up until now?
Root n log n.
Root n log n.
Root n log n. And what can I do at this point of time?
I can
If I can, you can?
Return n as
we
the
can
answer.
include both the endpoints of these.
No, I
You
don't
can
know.
just
I
say
did.
yes,
I-
right.
I-
You don't need to.
I like now I want to like now this is my guarantee, right? So in a small space, I'm now guaranteeing you that there is a minimum vertex cover size at least root n. I still don't know what it is, right? So what should I do? I should just return everything as my solution, right?
Okay.
So so when this happens, if the moment L becomes greater than or equal to Rn root n, stop, return everything. All good?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. And if L is less than root n, like, okay, I cannot find any more maximal matching, then let's go back and look at the vertex cover algorithm which we made before. What is the space complexity of this? Actually, it is not order n log n bits, right? It is actually order maximal matching times log n bits, right? This is the space complexity, right? So if the maximal matching size was 10, 20, 30, then it is going to be just order log n bits. Do you get my point?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So if L is less than root n, that implies size of the maximal matching is at most root n. Now what will I do? Output both endpoints. What is the approximation factor here? Guaranteed 2. Right? So now have we come up with an algorithm which is a factor root n approximation in O tilde root n space.
Yes.
Okay, good. So was it interesting, simple, easy?
Yeah.
If you understood, put +1. If you did not understand, put -1. Oh, there's a person with +1 and then the bracket. What that means? You understood too much?
No, that was by mistake.
Okay. Fine. So if I now tell you that, hey, can I make this approximation factor n 1/3 and space say n 2/3? Can I do this? You should be able to do. This is easy. So look at the previous algorithm. I ask myself, is L greater than n 2/3? Stop. Then what is the approximation for trivial approximation? Agreed? Right? And if L is less than n to the power 2/3, right? Then you have a factor 2 approximation, right? So now we can get factor n 1/3 approximation, but the space allowed is like n 1 minus 1/3, right? So if you do this computation, you can come up with n 1 power d approximation, but the space will be how much? N
1 minus 1 by t.
d. Okay. So if I substitute d equal to say 1 over log n, what will I get? Roughly order 1, right? But how much will the space? It is n to the power n over 1 over d. So this is going to be roughly O tilde n space, right? Because d is like log n, then 2 to the power log n is log n, so it will get cancelled. Agreed? Right? So now we have a very good trade-off, right? So like, I mean, we have all ranges of approximation, okay? Now we are going to do some coup, okay? So now our objective is
log n, not 1 over log n.
where? No,
You said-
I said when you put d equal to, oh, no, sorry. D is equal to log n. You're right. Yeah, people, okay. So if I put d equal to log n, then I get order 1 approximation and O tilde n space, right? Okay. So it was a very good approximation algorithm, okay? But now let's go further and let's ask, okay, I'm happy with order square root n approximation, okay? So up until now, what we saw, approximation, root n, space, O tilde root n, okay? So now I ask myself a question, okay, I'm fine. In this regime, can we reduce the space? Okay, for example, can we get order log big O of 1 n space? Right? Then it is a very huge reduction in space, though we are doing root n approximation, right? So from that vertex cover approximation which we saw, if we do some sort of trade-off, then we get all kind of interesting approximation and space bound. But if we want to do something better than this trivial space regime, how do we go about it? Okay, I don't think you will know these tricks. So let me, if you want to think for a minute, I'm perfectly happy, but I'm not sure you know these things, okay? So now we are going to take a detour, okay? We are going to take detour as we did last time for our patience. This detour is, I'm going to look at the decision version of the problem, vertex cover, okay? So what I'm going to look at is a decision version of vertex cover. Forget it, we'll come back to this. Okay, vertex cover. What is my input? My input is G, K, and my question is, does G has a vertex covered of size at most K? Okay, so this is my question. So what did we do for patients, like for the longest increasing sequence? How did we achieve something interesting? By somehow trying to design an algorithm where the size of the solution was an important factor. Am I right? So now I want to somehow come up with an algorithm, okay, where K is used. Okay. So now you will see something very interesting. Okay. I'm not going to solve the problem, but I'm trying to either solve the problem, okay, and suppose suppose I'm able to say that, hey, vertex set of G is at most 2k square. Suppose I'm able to do this. Either solve the problem or tell you that the vertex cover of G is at most 2k square. Okay. And suppose this I can do it in now my question to you is, can I utilize this algorithm to get order square root n approximation in space? Okay, so we'll worry. Suppose I have a question which in polylog in space either tells me that yes or no, or gives me a solution, or gives me a vertex cover, or tells me that, hey, your vertex cover is at most 2k square. Is this information helpful to design this approximation algorithm? Like, do you understand my motivation? So I have this instance, I will design an algorithm which will have the following property. Either it will say, yes, it is a yes instance of vertex cover, or a no instance of a vertex cover of size, like it does have a vertex cover of size at most k, or it does not have a vertex cover of size at most k, or it will, if it doesn't say any of these two things, it will tell me, hey, number of vertices in your graph is at most 2 times k square. And it is able to do all this in polylog in space. Now, my question to you is, given these facts, can we get an order root n approximation in polylog in space? Anybody? Okay, let me see. Nobody's. So if you have understood the question, can you put +1? Okay, nobody has understood the question. Okay, so all I'm trying to tell you is that for this decision version of the vertex problem, I have an algorithm A which does the following thing. If I give him G and K, it either solves the problem or tells me the number of vertices in my graph is at most 2k square. Okay, and it is able to do this in polylog in space. Using this, I want to say that, hey, I mean, yeah, I want. So when it solves the problem, maybe say that it returns vertex. Let's, okay. I will worry about this later, what it does, okay? Okay, so now I want to use this algorithm to design an order square root n approximation. So let's see how we can use this algorithm, and probably will understand then. Suppose I start k equal to 1 and I run this algorithm, okay? We'll worry about what to do when something happens. So when k equal to 1, okay? When k is equal to 1, what can I get? I can get, say, no vertex covered of size at most 1, okay? Or I can get, yes, it has a vertex covered of size at most, size, say 1, okay? Or no, or has vertex covered of size 1. So either no vertex covered of size 1 or has vertex covered of size 1, okay? Or, so let's say, okay, so let me say that, okay, let's make the primitive much easier. It either returns no vertex covered of size at most k, or tells me this. Suppose this is all that it does. So either it can tell me that no vertex covered of size at most 1, or it is going to tell me, hey, vertex set of G is at most 2, okay? This is what it tells me, okay? I go on. Now, so when it says 1, I do nothing. So I try k equal to 1, 2, 3, up to some number. I'll try, okay? So suppose here it said no, and at L plus 1, it said, hey, vertex set of G is at most 2 times, let's say, L square, okay? It said this. Now, there are two issues, right? Now, if it's a, so it is always telling me this. So now, what is the property of this marker? I know that the vertex cover of G is at least L plus 1, because up until now, it has been consistently telling me no vertex cover, no vertex cover, no vertex cover, no vertex cover of size at most this, whichever. So the L plus 1 is the first integer for which it told me that there exists the vertex cover, like it told me that vertex cover is at most 2L square. So what can I conclude? So, well, up until now, it has said no. It means I am guaranteed that the vertex cover size is at least L. Okay, this we are guaranteed. Okay, and now there are two cases can happen, right? So the two cases could happen. L is less than, say, root n, or L is more than root n. If L is more than root n, what can we do?
Trivial approximation.
Trivial approximation.
Great. Okay, this is a return everything, right? So this algorithm is always going to return everything. Okay, and so this algorithm is a great algorithm. What it does, it just finds these things. Okay, it finds the first time it does, okay, and it's just going to return everything outside. Okay, but there is something very beautiful happening here. Okay, what you know, so for example, let's say either L is less than, greater than, equal to root n, or L is less than root n, right? Now, what is the solution size I'm going to return? Look, so at this point of time, I know. So my solution returned will be, look, let's look at what are we solution returning. I'm going to return a solution of size 2L square. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. What am I guaranteed? look, I'm guaranteed that the vertex cover size is at least L. Right? So this is going to be, what is the approximation factor? 2L.
And L is at least. And L is
So,
less.
I have a query. So V of G denotes the size of the vertex set or the vertex cover?
V of G is vertex set. But if you return every vertex, then it is a vertex cover, right?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. Convinced, yeah.
Okay. So from here, from these two information, I want to conclude that whatever we have is a vertex cover. Okay? Is a factor 2 approximation.
So size of vertex cover was less than root n, and so we have
Meaning?
to. So L was less than root n, so 2L means 2 root n, which is 2 approximation. No?
Exactly. It's a 2 approximation. I'm returning a 2L square size solution. Hello? So okay, maybe let me tell this algorithm and maybe then it will become a little bit more clear what is happening, okay? But this is all that is happening. So what are we going to do? So I have this algorithm, which I'm going to run with increasing value of K, and I'm going to check, because the moment it says no, it means what are we able to conclude from here? That it has a solution of size, the lower bound on the vertex cover solution is this much, okay? Or when it does not do, then I know that I'm going to return a solution of size 2L square. Okay? Okay. So there are two things, right? So either, this is what I was trying to tell, either L itself has become root n, right? So like you went till root n steps. Okay? If you went till root n steps, then you are definitely getting a factor like square root n approximation, right? Why you're getting a factor square root n approximation? Because look, you are returning a solution of size whole vertex set, right? Or you are either way, in a way, that like L is the lower bound and you are returning a solution of size 2L square, right? So you are never returning a solution which is worse than factor L. You get my point?
Yes.
Okay. So let's try to see what are we trying to do, and it will become very clear from that algorithm. Okay. So that algorithm is very simple. So let's see. Okay. Maybe I confused you more than I made it easy for you. So let me first tell this algorithm. Okay. This is very easy algorithm. Okay. And let's forget about approximation. We'll come back to the approximation after this. Okay. So let's see what I'm going to do. Okay. Okay. So let me ask you the following question. If there is a vertex V which has degree at least K plus 1, can we say anything about this vertex and vertex cover? Look, what are we seeking? We want a vertex cover of size at most K. And I find a vertex whose degree of V is greater or equal to K plus 1. Can I say something? What happens if you do not pick V in your vertex cover? Suppose V is not part of vertex cover. What can I say then?
For covering those edges, other endpoint is chosen.
Okay, but then N of V is a subset of my S, where say S is the vertex cover of size at most K. Okay, which implies what is the size of S? Suppose V is not part of vertex cover, then N of V has to be part of S.
Yeah, then S must be greater than K plus 1, greater than equal to K plus 1.
Then what can I conclude from this inference? That if
V must be a part of the.
exactly, so if degree of V is greater than or equal to k plus 1, that implies V is in the vertex cover of size at most k, in every vertex cover of size at most k actually, right? What does that implies? Then this is like a reduction rule, right? So what kind of reduction rule we can come up with? Right? So if I was forget about space constraint, then what kind of reduction rule we can say? Oh, then I say let's delete V from this and let's look for a vertex cover of size at most k minus 1, right? Right? So what I can say that G has a vertex covered of size at most k if and only if G minus V has a vertex covered of size at most k minus 1. Okay, so this is a reduction rule, right? So in my graph, if I find a vertex with degree greater or equal to k plus 1, then I know this vertex must be part of my vertex covered. I can delete it from the graph and look for a vertex cover of size at most k minus 1 in the remaining graph. Okay. Okay. Now let's look at a vertex. If degree of V if the degree of V is equal to 0, then what can I say?
It will not be in the vertex cover. It does
Yes,
not.
because it doesn't need to, because it doesn't cover anything, right? Then vertex covered of G minus V is same as vertex covered of G, right? So then we can say G minus V and look for a vertex cover of size at most k. So now we have come up with two reduction rules. Okay. So rule 1, if degree of V equal to 0, delete V. Okay. Rule 2, if degree of V is greater than or equal to k plus 1, G minus V, k minus 1. That's it. Okay. Now imagine rule 1 and rule 2 do not apply. What can we say about G then? What is the maximum degree of G then?
K.
At most k. Great. And minimum degree of V is? Minimum degree of graph is? At least
1.
At least one. Okay. So how many edges can the graph have?
2 times the sum of degrees. Or no. So sum of degrees by 2.
How many edges can a graph have? And it could still be yes instance. Look, every vertex can cover how many edges?
Most,
K edges, right?
most k.
Yeah. So if the number of edges in my graph is more than k times k, which is like more than k square, my answer is, if EG is strictly more than k square, what can I say? G comma k is a no instance. Can you have a vertex cover of size at most k in a graph where every vertex has degree at most k and the number of edges is more than k square? Look, each vertex can cover only k edges, right? So look at your solution now of size at most k. It covers every edge, but each vertex can only cover k edges. So if the total number of edges is more than k square, you can immediately say it's a no instance.
No instance.
Okay, so what do I know now, right? So this leads to rule 3. Okay, if minimum degree of graph is at least 1, maximum degree of graph, we don't need this. If maximum degree of graph G is at most k and number of edges is more than k square, say no, right? Okay, is that fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Sir.
So what are we able to conclude from here? Okay, we are able to conclude from here two things from this algorithm. Either I'm saying that G comma K is a no instance, right? Or okay, G comma K is a no instance, or right? If the number of edges is at most K square, how many vertices this graph has?
2k square.
Exactly. Okay, so this is the algorithm I was talking about. Okay, and do you see that we can apply this algorithm in a small space? Okay, so all we can do, right? So notice that what is this happening actually? So let's look at this. Here's a set of W. Okay, what is the vertices of this? Or let's not call it W, let's call it high. Okay, degree of V is greater than or equal to K plus 1. And this is a set of vertices X whose degree of vertices is at most K, right? Or let's call L, low, high, right? So I want to count how many edges are there, okay? How many edges are there in the graph, okay? Where both endpoints has degree at most K. Can this be done in a small space? Okay, so what you can do is that, look, you go in adjacency list one by one, right? One by one, you go into the adjacency list, right? Look at an edge and look at, so you keep a pointer where you are, and for each edge you just, for each edge U, look at the endpoint U and V. Okay, so you go to the, because time is not a constraint, I go to U, I count its degree. Oh, it is more than K. Then I know if it is more than K, then it is adjacent to some high degree vertices. Fine. Otherwise, I keep a count here, which basically counts the number of edges with both endpoints being in low. And that is like, I go through this link, go through this edges one by one. And for each edge, I check the degree of U, degree of V, right? And if it is at most K, both U and V, then I go and increase the count by 1, right? So because, look, our edges here can only be covered by vertices which has degree at most K. So number of edges here has to be had at most K square. Otherwise, there is no way this graph. Another thing is that we are looking for a vertex cover of size at most K, right? So if H is more than K, say strictly greater than K, then also it's a no instance. And we can count vertices of high degree also. How? You keep a counter for high, and for you go every vertex in some lexicographical ordering and check its degree. If it is degree more than K, you increment the counter by 1. So you can, all you need is 2 counters. One counter to count how many high degree vertices are there, and second to count how many edges are there where both endpoints has low, right? So now what I know, so look at high. High is part of every solution of size at most K, right? So now if high is less than K, what I'm going to do is that going to take all the vertices of high and put it into my, if high is more than K, you say no. If high is less than K, then I know that I need to pick all these vertices of high into my solution. Then I go output every vertex in H to the output list. Fine, this is your solution. That's okay. That's up to K vertices I have output. Okay. Now I count the number of vertices. I count what is that called? I count edges. Okay. So I count edges with both endpoints being in low. Okay. I count. If this is number of edges is K square, then I will do something else. I again say no. So now suppose the number of edges is K square. What I want to output? I want to output all the endpoints of this edge. This is all that I want to do. Now, but that is, you have to be careful. So what I can do, I pick up a vertex and I know what is its degree. Okay. So what is that called? So so if you don't care about same vertex being, output every time, you go over each edge, look at the endpoints of these vertices, and check if both degrees are at most k, then you output both the vertices and forget about it, whether how to take care of multiplicity and all. But whole of this structure can be maintained in polylog space, right? I can come up with a vertex cover of size. What I'm out all the time, I'm giving you a vertex cover of size how much, right? I'm giving you a vertex cover of size 2k square plus k at most. Okay, so so why did I say that this is a approximation factor of so look, now I want to prove to you that this is an approximation algorithm with factor root n, and this is what I was trying to do a few minutes back, and I confused probably all of you people. So let's do what we are going to do. Okay, so this is the algorithm we are going to apply. We are start at k equal to 1, okay, and successively increment k until a solution is output. Okay, so whenever your solution is output, look, whatever may be. So suppose at k equal to n to the power 1/4, you output a solution. If this could happen, k equal to n to the 1/4, you output a solution. But then what is the size of the solution you're going to output? You're going to output a solution of size n to the power half, right? So whatever maybe it is, you are definitely going to output a solution which is square of this. So, well, I mean, so if I have, look, if I succeed up to, say, n to the power 1/4, right, then I'm only going to give you a solution of size n to the power half, which is perfectly fine, right? But now suppose k becomes more than n to the power 1/4, okay? Then even if I would have output everything else, this would have been n to the power 3/4 approximation, okay? But, okay, so don't do this. This is just for you to understand what is this happening, and this is a polylog in space algorithm. But what you do, you start at k equal to 1 and successively increment k until a solution is output or k is at least, say, square root n. If k, so if you have reached, so what I mean by this, either you are outputting a solution. If you have already output a solution up until now, it is perfectly, you are happy, nothing happens. And so let's see. So if you have gone beyond root n, what should you do? If k is like more than root n, then what I want to do, I would like to output the whole vertex set as before. Because now we are guaranteed that the minimum vertex cover size is at least square root n. Okay. Then we simply output the whole solution. So what have you output, right? So you notice you always are outputting opt. Okay. So in this case, you're going to, if k is root n, then I know that the solution size which you return is at most root n times opt, right? Because opt is at least square root n, and you have returned a solution of size at most n. Okay, so now, if our algorithm returns a solution of size, say, 2k square, then what can you say? I know that opt is at least k, and k is less than equal to n, right? So what can I say from here? So this implies, look, opt is at least k, right? Because this is the first time you're outputting a solution, and k is less than equal to root n. K is less than equal to n. So then what can you say about 2k square? Right? I can say 2k square is less than equal to, right, square root n times k, because k is this fine?
Yes.
Sir, is k at most root n or n?
No, k is at most root n. You're right.
Yeah.
right? So this is why 2k square becomes, so 1k I use for opt, another k is less than or equal to root n. So in both cases, I have able to give you a square root n approximation algorithm. Okay, so maybe it was not very clean at the end, but I hope the essence is clear that we are still using the fact that, hey, can we somehow guarantee that can we somehow guarantee that that the vertex cover size is at least root n? If this is the case, then output the whole solution. And can we reach this stage much more cheaply? Okay, if we can reach this stage much more cheaply, then that's great for us. And so I told you one strategy which takes order root n space to reach this place, and I told you another strategy which takes polylog n space to reach this space, and it uses a completely different algorithm for vertex cover than what you have seen before. And there are ways. So what we can achieve is, and this is also a very good exercise to read if someone wishes to, is that you can actually compute minimum vertex cover using 1 by epsilon log n bits of space and achieve n to the power epsilon approximation factor. Okay, but the running time also depends on this epsilon. Okay, so this is a caveat that you have to be worried about it. Okay, but this is an algorithm which I did not tell you. So what I have only taught you is for vertex cover, okay, square root n approximation in O tilde 1 space. Okay, let's not say that. Log n space. Okay. Okay. Any question? I think it's a good time to stop. Venkatesh, would you want to add or something?
Sorry, the first one, did you mean O tilde 1 or O tilde root n?
No. I said that what we finally achieved is O tilde 1 space algorithm, which is, then I thought that people might get psyched up. So I wrote order log polylog n space for the second algorithm.
This one, okay. But the first one using matrix was like root n.
Yeah, this was, so we achieved two algorithms. One was
Right.
O tilde root n space, and this. I at least hope that people feel motivated that, you can go from trivial to something non-trivial by doing some hard work.
So any pointers to any references for reading this? The
Yes.
algorithm you just got?
Yes. I will send you.
Okay.
So Venkatesh, I will send them SWOT paper because our MFCS paper does not have just vertex cover. It just talks about deheating set.
So which SWOT paper then?
Like we had a SWOT submission where we wrote vertex cover explicitly.
Oh, and heating set or something, yeah.
Yes, but in our newer version, the problem we forgot the vertex cover. We only stated everything in terms of deheating set.
Right,
So maybe for these people, they might
Sure.
find it more familiar with vertex cover. So
Sure.
I'll send the SWOT version. Okay, good. If you feel motivated, there are lots of problems here. And I mean, you can talk to any one of us if you wish to work or do something. It's an area which has, in my opinion, lots of good, interesting open question. And I'm quite sure not all of them would be hard or something. So Venkatesh might be able to add more.
No, nothing, yeah. Fine.
Okay, good. Okay, thanks. So then you will have a 2:30 and there will be class and I will send you the materials. I will put these two things and as well as paper in the common folder now. Okay. Bye.